pick a card reading. We are going to be getting into advice on a situation that's on your mind, okay? If you're new, welcome. Hi, it's nice to meet you. If you're returning, welcome back, okay? As you can see, we have three beautiful, lovely piles. For pile number 1, we have the Ace of Swords. For pile number 2, we have the 8 of Wands. And then for pile number 3, we have the 5 of Pentacles. Alright. Pause, meditate, do what you gotta do. Timestamps will be listed down below, and I will see you guys at your pile. If you guys were drawn to the Ace of Swords or this cute little Kit Kat, this is your reading pile number 1 on advice. I don't know where to put this. Can you guys still see that? We'll just put it like that. How about that? Alright, pile number 1. Okay, so I went ahead and pre-shuffled the decks. At the end of the reading, I'm going to tell you guys right now so you guys can have an idea of like what you want to ask, but go ahead and ask yourself or focus on a question of a yes or no. And at the end of the reading, I'm going to pull an oracle for yes or no answer, okay? All right, so with that said, let's get started with your reading. Pile number 1. All right, so we're starting off the reading with, Ace of Swords, which is really funny because you guys were drawn to the Ace of Swords, so Spirit's like, yeah, I said what I said. There's a reason why you guys were drawn to that, okay? Alright, so followed by the 4 of Pentacles. I've been never seen that. There we go, okay. The 9 of Swords. Followed by the 8 of Wands. And then back of the deck energy, we have the 4 of Cups. Alright, so let me see, make sure you guys can see clearly. Alright, pile number 1, what is the advice for the situation that's on your mind? Okay, well, what I can tell you based off on what I see with the cards is that I see that you are feeling very blocked in your, like, you had it, like you're so done with it. That's the vibe I'm kind of getting with this pile. There is a lot of like negative like self-talk or viewpoint of your situation, okay? Everybody's situation is going to be varied, so just apply the message to how it fits for you guys, all right? But you're just like not having it anymore. You're like, there's been setback after setback after setback, and it's become a lot for you guys. So what is the advice for you guys? Pile number 1 is 1, to not feed into the negative narrative, okay, that is replaying in your head, whether that's self-doubt, you know, you not believing that this is going to be able to work out, whatever this may be, okay? I think that with the Ace of Swords coming up twice, Spirit is coming through. Spirit's been coming through, I want to say, for some of you, if not all of you. Spirit has been giving you messages or confirmation. This reading is a confirmation for you, okay? So Spirit's communicating with you that there's something that you need to acknowledge. Okay, so either Spirit is going to give you confirmation, not confirmation, clarity on the situation. But what I'm really getting with the Ace of Swords is more so that you need to be real with yourself. No more plaguing yourself with self-doubt, or like there's like there's a confusion going on, and you need to clear the air. You need to accept the situation for what it is in order to clear out this obstacle. With the Four of Pentacles here in reverse, it does talk about obstacles. It could talk about many other things, but what I'm really picking on is that there has been actual obstacles that are getting in your way, that are preventing you from making this forward progress with this Eight of Wands, but there's a reason. And sometimes those obstacles are there for a reason, or like those setbacks or those delays, right? So there could be delays that are going on. There could be miscommunication creating this, this havoc. All right, so depending on your situation and what you're going through, some of these things are happening because they're for your protection, okay? Sometimes there's divine timing at play, okay? Sometimes there's things that just need to like, Spirit's kind of like slowing you down for a reason, because there's something that you may be rushing too fast through this, and you're overlooking certain things. You're not wrapping up certain, I don't know, because I don't know what you guys are doing. I don't know if this is a creative project, if this is healing, there is something about that you guys rushing through, trying to get to this outcome or to get to this end goal, and you're getting frustrated because it's like there's something keeps pushing you back, okay? And there's something about needing to be more honest with yourself when it comes to regards of this situation, whether that's acceptance, okay? So whether this is someone that left your life, you need to accept that they did. And usually if that is the case, pile number one, rejection is God's protection. Remember that. So there's always something better on the other side, okay? If this is, let's say, something in regards of career, there's delays because maybe you're overlooking something that you're missing out on. That's not going to provide you the outcome, the desired outcome that you want, because you're rushing through it. Or maybe you're trying to force yourself to feel a type of way with that. Like, it's kind of like, another thing is like, I'm getting like emotional bypassing, like spiritual bypassing. Like, I know that this is what I do or what I need to do, and this is how I should be feeling this already, but it's like, you need to allow yourself to sit with those feelings or express those feelings, or I don't know. I feel like there's something that you guys are trying to rush through, and it's creating this havoc. There could be even actual things outside of you that are happening to prevent you from moving forward, which is leaving you feeling like it's like, why bother? Why it's like, why bother anymore? Like, why should I keep putting up with it? Why should I? But if you keep feeding that narrative, right, you're not going to see the opportunity that's going to be presented to you. But there is something that you need to finish in order, or you need to let go, or you need to not, not feed into those negative thoughts. Okay. I do see forward progressive movement coming through with the Eight of Wands once you deal with this. So let's get some oracle to get a little bit more insight, or maybe more clarification, whichever comes through for you guys. So we have the Sun in reverse. The Healer of Ages in reverse. We have the Journey in reverse. Then we have Contract in reverse. Okay. Back of the deck, we do have Envy. Okay. Let me see. Does that? Okay. I want to make sure you guys can see. All right. Let's see. Okay, so with the Sun in reverse, this could be talking about actual, like a creativity block. This can also talk about a time of confusion, which is where that Nine of Swords definitely comes into play, in my opinion. The confusion of the self, whether it's self-doubt or a lack of belief in oneself, that is coming to play. This is also talking about blockages in a general sense as well. But how are you feeding into that? Okay, so so when these blockages come up, are you, like, let's say for example, if you have a creative block, are you accepting the creative block as an opportunity to rest and take time to incubate? Is that the word? I like allow something to, I don't know, there's like when you come, like for example, when it comes to creativity, you're it's not meant to be produce. You're meant to create and then rest and then create and then rest, right? If you're constantly creating, you eventually start to empty. Your cup begins to empty, and I don't know, it might come into this Four of Cups energy where it's like, you're not putting your all into it because of the situation. There's just something about blockages. There's just, with the Contract and the Journey does talk about blockages, delays. The Journey can talk about actual delays. Like if you're trying to move somewhere or go to a destination and maybe you have a flight delay, or maybe you have circumstantial issues that are outside of your hands, right? Like you can't control that there's a flight delay, for example. Not allowing that to prevent you from still continuing to do or pursue. Find ways that, despite these obstacles presenting, how can you overcome them one step at a time? Don't let like, it's almost like if it's like, it's kind of like giving like the narrative like, oh, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And then like you don't realize how you are contributing that to your, because you're speaking into it, you're speaking life into that narrative. And so you start to see more of that. This can even also be about miscommunication with others. And that actually makes a lot of sense considering the timing that I'm recording this. This is a timeless pick a card reading, of course, but if you're watching this while it's first posted, it is a Mercury retrograde. So, just saying, there could be that could be causing these issues for you. But everything happens for a reason. So there's something. What is it showing you? What is this obstacle showing you? You know, maybe like, for example, you need to find a way to alter your schedule. Be more flexible when situations like these occur. how can you, you know, oh, well, now I can't do that because this didn't happen, or this is not working the way that I expected it to. Okay, well, how can you make it work for you considering the situation that you're in right now? Okay. The contract in reverse can indicate an ending, whether that is an actual connection or a commitment of any kind, like actual, like, you know, someone pulling back on a deal. There is a thing of delay. So like, let's say if you were like closing on a home, and then all of a sudden like everything was going good, and all of a sudden boom, they decided there's something happened and there's a delay on it. You know, don't freak out. Don't let that, like, don't become, I don't want to say desperate, but like, don't feed the narrative that it ain't gonna happen just because of this one little setback. So there's something about like gaining control of the mindset of how you're viewing yourself or the situation moving forward. This Healer of Ages card talks about going within, taking time to, using this time for like deeper inner healing. So whether that's journaling, meditating, maybe even sitting and reflecting on what it is. Like, why is the first thing that comes to your mind is something, you know, and why do you, like, for example, if your narrative is like, this ain't gonna happen, like, oh, it's done, it's over with, you know, like, what makes you think that it's just not gonna happen? Is there a possibility that it won't with the contract in reverse? Yes. But there's no guarantee either. Maybe it's just a delay. Maybe it's just a slowdown because something better needs, you know, Spirit needs more time to make things fall into place that work out better for you. So what can you do right now while you're waiting for those things to happen? Speak more life into your craft, into whatever it is this situation is in regards of. If this is a person that is leaving your life, let them. Okay? But if this is like a career or creative project or something you've been working towards, there's a reason why this is happening. You're being told to slow down. Right? What is Mercury retrograde in regards of? It is to reflect, right? So usually when the issues occur, those may have been things you've been ignoring, and now these things are being presented to you during this time so that you can finish wrapping up this situation, or you can put a closure to this chapter, so to speak. So it's like you could be done with this lesson once and for all so you can move forward, because you can't move forward while you have all these unfinished projects or unfinished lessons. If there's things that you're not paying attention to, or you're like, oh, they'll sort itself out, or maybe there's something that you, like, again, with the Ace of Swords, you need to be honest with yourself and be clear about. Alright, so let's get some more information. We have, look at unfinished sympathy, card number 10. This card talks about unfinished business, unfinished lessons. So again, there's something, these delays are happening for you so that you can wrap them up, be done with them. So that's kind of funny. I'm hearing put your big boy, big girl pants on and do what you need to do. Be honest with yourself, be clear with what it is you need to do, handle your business, and then boom, everything's going to come into place really fast, rapidly. So in what ways are you blocking yourself, pile number one, and how can you and what can you do in this moment You know, if it means not engaging, then don't engage. Take time to yourself. Meditate, go for walks, do what makes you feel more centered in yourself while you're waiting for things to fall into place, if that's your case. You know what I'm saying? You're going to know what you need to do at the end of the day. I'm telling you, majority of us already know what we need to do. We just don't want to either face it or accept it. But the truth is the truth. All right? Message in a bottle. Spirit is communicating with you. I almost said it again. Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of information about communication with the Ace of Swords coming here twice. And then we got this message in the bottle. Like, Spirit's like, hello. Hello, Padawan. You've been getting the messages. You've been ignoring them. So whether those are angel numbers, I don't know. You get messages through any way, shape, or form. Okay? It's feathers, coins, animals. Like, the Spirit's communicating with you guys, pile number one. They are letting you know. Okay, so like, you know, that's another thing too. If you want clarity, speak with Spirit, speak with your higher self, speak with Source, speak with your spiritual team. Ask them, hey, if this is the right direction, or if I'm going in the right direction, show me a purple cat. I don't know. Whatever you want to pick. You could pick whatever you want. You can ask for any symbol that, and then you'll get your answer. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then we have by the book. So the by the book kind of talks about universal law. I mean, it could go into societal laws as well, that there's a reason for structure and for things to happen in order, as much as we may not like rules or certain structure systems, they are there for a reason. So Spirit's saying, like, stop fighting against the system, stop fighting against the structure system, whether that's like universal law, okay? You know, like learning, maybe you need to learn to understand the law of attraction a little bit better. There's so many laws I don't know why law of attraction was like the only one that came through. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what other like laws. The law of attraction was the only thing that came to my mind, but like the law of karma. There's like a bunch of laws, like universal laws. So maybe like learning some more information on that. Maybe there's a way there, like you'll learn. I mean, with the Ace of Swords is clarity. It's information. So maybe there's some information that you need to collect in order to better understand your situation before moving forward as well. So you could be working against yourself without even realizing it. So there's that to take in consideration. We did have for back of the deck energy, the tribe. Okay, so you know, this is about community and finding your place within community, and knowing that whether you are looking for community or even a part of it, but maybe you're not, I don't know, I feel like more so that card is telling you that you guys are kind of like trying to find your footing of where you need to be, or where you think you should be, and sometimes it's just showing up is enough. And sometimes some of us are here to have bigger things, to do bigger goals, to lead, to learn to lead. So, I mean, if it's like basically saying that even if you're like, you know, with the journey, your soul's journey here is one that just shows up and is there. And it doesn't mean that the person who just shows up versus the person that is becoming a leader is the less than, or they both matter is the point. So you could be trying to find your footing and how you contribute to community, whether it's small or large, But in order for you to contribute, you need to work through some of these issues in order for things to fall into place for you. Sheesh. Alright. So we have higher wisdom, explore options, learn what you can, and expand your horizons. I said that with the Ace of Swords. Like, there's something about some information that you may need to better understand. Maybe you're overlooking certain information. So maybe double check contracts, reread the contracts. Maybe maybe you're not understanding something within a contract. If that you find yourself in that situation, definitely look more deeper into that. Okay. We have eclipse of concealment. Navigate through the eclipse of concealment, understanding the cyclical nature of hidden phases and awaiting revelations. All right. So, I mean, part of me wants to say, for some of you, you may want to look at astrological points of like time frames of eclipses and their cycles. You know, I think we just recently had one. I don't remember. I think we have them like twice a year. I could be wrong, but I mean, we have lunar cycle eclipses and solar eclipses every year, right? So maybe look into that. You might get some more information that's going to help you better understand your situation or what's unfolding for you. What is this eclipse triggering and creating this? You know, eclipses are big impacts, and depending on the sign that it's in, that would definitely help give you some clues. And then I would also say, like, look into the house that eclipse is impacting as well. So basically you would find the house, the sign that the eclipse was in, and then the house that rules that sign, or the sign that rules that house in your chart. Sorry, I said it backwards. To get better insight and understanding of like what's going on. Transits definitely help you understand the energies that are happening around you. And they kind of give you a good forecast. It's like a weather forecast, but like of what's happening for you in particularly. So yeah, all right, that would be helpful for you guys. So some of you guys could be into astrology, for sure. All right, and then we have be here now. Practice mindfulness to be present in the moment and gain insight. Isn't that what I said earlier, that, you know, with that, jeez, I can't even talk. You could, I keep repeating myself. I'm so sorry, file number 1. All right, see, again, like if you were trying to like, sometimes it's just you needing to like sit still and allow things to take its time to pan out. Jeez. Sorry. Alright, so back of the deck, we do have divine timing, which is what I was trying to say. You know, certain things need to fall into place, and if you're rushing through it, your spirit's not going to be able to give you the best outcome that you are desiring. Be patient, for some things take time to manifest fully in your life. Okay. And sometimes you're going to have phases where you're just like, I'm not feeling it. But don't feed the negative narrative of your manifestations, of your goals, because now you're tainting them. Pile 1. Don't taint them. Keep speaking life into them. And when you have obstacles and situations that are happening, that are creating delays, try looking at it from a different perspective, or for a different viewpoint. What is this showing me? What is this reflecting? What do I need to reflect on this situation? How am I creating this obstacle, or why is this obstacle happening for me? If it's, whether it's due to your own projection or your own resistance, reflect on that. If it's happening outside of your circumstances, how can you adjust to that? Or whether it's you needing to be more flexible and adjusting to it, or, you know, because maybe you could be fixated on wanting things a certain way, and then, or, okay, this is what's happening, and I'm going to accept that this is what's happening, and I know that I'm going to have faith that the things were going to work out, and focusing on what can I focus on now, using your inner guidance and inner compass to, to guide you, okay? So final advice on your situation. Pile number 1, we have sheep with innocence. You are encouraged to reconnect with your inner child in order to become more spontaneous and playful and consider what life has to offer with a greater sense of wonder. Take some time this week to get in touch with the innocence and vulnerability in you. And then we have rabbit with cleverness. If you've been going through difficult times, it is time to think outside the box to find the solution. This is also a reminder to avoid neglecting your creative side. If you have let creative projects lapse, it may be time to pick them back up again. Back of the deck energy, we have owl with observation. You are being encouraged to look beyond deceiving appearances into the true reality of a situation or a person's motive. You need to hear what is really being said despite the words and emotions coming from the messenger. Again, it kind of resorts back to that Ace of Swords. You need to be honest with yourself. Okay, so hopefully you have your yes or no question in mind. I'll give you a few seconds to think and ponder on that. And I will be picking up a yes or no oracle message answer to your yes or no question. Answer to file number 1's yes or no question. Alright, got it. Alright. So, keep in mind it's a general reading and apply the message to how it will fit your situation. Pile number 1, your answer is yes. Can you guys, is that, right. Inner harmony, a sense of liberation, happiness, and joy. There will be feelings of complete freedom and self-sufficiency. Incredible luck comes to you as a generous reward for your sincere intentions and worthy efforts. This is a happy ending to the situation and a cause for genuine pride. Excuse me. So when and how? In only 1 to 3 months. I can't even hold this thing. Can you guys even see that? Right? Is that clear? There, kind of. Okay. Harbingers of good luck enter your life in the form of unorthodox genius ideas. Your quick response to circumstances will help you move the situation into your favor. However, never forget that there is a fine line between genius and madness. I feel like that goes really well with the Ace of Swords. So, yeah, pile number 1, that is your message. Wishing you the best of luck and love on your journey moving forward. And take care till next time. Bye. Hello, pile 2. If you guys were drawn to the 8 of Wands, kitty cat, this is going to be your reading. So let's go ahead and move that over here. So pile number 2, I went ahead and pre-shuffled the cards. I want you guys to think right now throughout the reading. At the end of the reading, I am going to pull a oracle yes or no answer. So think about your yes or no question. That's going to be at the end. Alright. So just wanted to give you I wanted to give you some time to think about what you want to ask. Alright. So getting into the reading, we start off with the Four of Swords, followed by the King of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Swords, followed by the Eight of Cups, and then for back of the deck energy, we do have the Sun. Okay, so pile number 2. Did I call you guys pile number 1 by accident? I don't even know if I did or not. Okay, pile number 2. You guys did pick the Eight of Wands. Alright, so I want to say there is a need to change something or walk away from something with the Eight of Wands and the Eight of Cups. In order for change to come, there's something you need to leave or walk away from, or choose differently. I do believe that Spirit is communicating with you. I think that you are receiving messages from Spirit, your spiritual team, with the Eight of Wands. Okay, so typically it usually means like fast forward, progressive movement and changes that are occurring because it's an 8, but it also talks about Spirit communicating with you. Alright, so I do believe that your spiritual team is communicating with you. They're giving you support that you need, reassurance, guidance, and love during this situation. There is something that you need to put to rest. I do believe for some of you, if not, I want to say for a portion of you, it is going to be a relationship with the Court cards showing up in the reading. Yeah, with this pile, I want to say it has something to do with whether it is a relationship or something from your past that has left you with an imprint that you have not healed from. You are being guided to focus on putting a narrative to rest, or like I said, a relationship. So I don't want to keep repeating myself too much, but there's a need to focus on being realistic, okay? Not getting too, not clouding your judgment too much with, I don't know, there's just a need to be honest with yourself, be more realistic with your goals, there's like a, how do I want to say this? Like there's like a need for a reset for like the foundations, because we're looking at the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is rest, and putting something to rest, or actually literally getting some rest. There's just something here that needs like a full reset. There's something that needs to change in order for you to have your success. What it is that you need to do to provide for yourself or provide others. Like if you have a family, with the page here showing up. I mean, you do have the Sun as back of the deck energy, so you will be successful overcoming this, or whether it's overcoming or integrating the lesson or healing, this situation that you are struggling with will require some form of strength. Because we got the sun is back at the deck, which is Leo energy, and I'm seeing the strength card, which is again the number 8. So 8s could be pretty prominent for you guys. Pile number 2. You could be seeing 88 or 888 quite often, but there is a need for change to occur. There could be maybe need a change of environment. For some of you, even a home. Walking away from a home environment or an environment that is like become hostile for you. I mean, if you look, this dude's like over here swinging a sword, and then there's like chaos in the like right behind him with all these with like confusion, and the clouds represent confusion and unclear, with lack of clarity of moving forward. I don't know, like, I mean, typically the guy does hold sword up, but, like, I don't know, he looks pretty aggressive to me for some reason in this image. I mean, you might beg to differ, but he looks aggressive to me. I feel like the birds are messengers. They're spirits communicating with you to bring clarity with this confusion or with this chaos. And resting or putting to rest something that I'm like wondering if this is a person, which one is it? I think some of you it's gonna be like a combination of both, or like one of each. There could be someone, there could be, I don't know, I'm starting to feel uneasy with this pile, like, in a way where I don't like it. You may have to be more practical in your approach moving forward, and maybe even being aggressive when sticking to your decision when choosing to walk away from a situation. There's something you need to let go of, and we're gonna get more with the oracle cards, so that's gonna kind of give me a little bit more footing on what this is, because this could be something from the past, this could be something that's happening right now. I don't know what your situation is that you're thinking about. All I can tell you is that there's something that you need to put to rest and put in, like, what I mean by put to rest is like close the chapter on this. Okay, so whether this is like past hurt and pain, you know, no longer focusing on it. Take the lesson, take what you can from the experience, and apply it to your life moving forward, choosing to start anew by choosing to walk away from it and start pursuing into yourself, pouring into yourself, because the 8 of Cups is something that we once wanted. It was something that we wanted. It was desired, but it didn't fully fulfill us. And then it's choosing to walk away for that self-fulfillment, which leads you to that 9 of Cups, right? Which is emotional fulfillment. So let me just start pulling some oracle, so we can have a better understanding of what it is, or at least I can, because I feel like for some of you this is going to be a relationship. For others of you, this may be making a decision in regards of work and choosing to like aggressively, you know, pursue different career. But let's just find out. Alright, so the first card that we have is card number 26 with hostilities. Again, 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 is significant. There is a need for change drastically. Alright, so with this 8 of Swords, why did I say 8 of Swords? Sorry. With the... I know why I said 8 of Swords, because I'm looking at the 26, and then I'm looking at the sword right there. Alright, so with this card, this is actually talking about something or someone physically causing chaos, actively threatening you, okay? Which is kind of the same vibe that I was getting with this Page of Swords. Look at their stance is almost nearly identical. That's crazy. Except that he's got trees in the background and it's just got swords. Oh, you got air. Alright. Because normally, like with the 7 of Swords, that's deceit. That's someone doing something behind your back, right? That this is in your face. So you could be in an environment or in a relationship or even in a job that is hostile in some way, shape, or form for you. Okay, so we have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Hopefully I'm saying that name correctly. Card number 38, 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. And then we have woman holding a coin, card number 42. I do want to say, like, a 5 is pretty prominent here too. So there's a lot of chaos and conflict that's happening for you right now. That's very visible in the cards. I do want to say though that when I was shuffling, I did see the man holding a coin, but it came out with a bunch of other cards, so I didn't really take it. So I thought it was kind of interesting that I'm seeing the woman holding a coin. So this, I'm getting for this group, it's a relationship, but the woman usually, why I would assume the man too if I look into the cards, but the woman holding a coin usually indicates a person that is wanting to help, and in this case it would be a woman that is going to help you find resources, or whether that's financial or like someone's gonna help you. Sorry. Like, there's just a lot. Pile number 2. I hope you guys are doing okay with your situation that you got going on over here. I do want to show you back of the deck energy, which is broken heart. Okay. So this broken heart could be something that has happened recently. It could be something that happened years ago and you're being told to mend the situation. Apply the message to how it fits for you. But in order for you to continue having forward progressive movement in your life and towards the goals that you aspire to have, you need to either mend this past hurt, if this is from the past, or there is healing that needs, in general, there's healing that needs to happen in order for things to move forward. And it will require changing your environment and also standing up for yourself, defending yourself. There is a need for what is the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I don't like that word. I don't know if that's the word. I don't know. Hopefully it'll come to me. Okay, so back to the woman with the cold and the coin. She can either provide you financial assistance, give you financial advice, or she can connect you with someone that can help you with that. So be open to that. I think that if once you decide to make the choice to walk away, that's when this helping hand is going to come into play. But you have to make that choice, pal, too. I don't think this person's going to come in until you do that. It's kind of interesting with the four... Why was I going to say that? With the fourth chakra being on top of the ace of, what is that called? The sword, ace of swords. Why am I saying ace of swords? The page of swords. My apologies. This talks about you guys needing to be mindful, not be mindful, but like, I feel like with it being on top of this page of swords is for you guys to be mindful of how you're communicating and talking to yourself. Now this card talks about you are opened to spirit. You're getting direct channeled messages from spirit. This is also about being open to receiving support from spirits, as well as from helpful people, whether that's family, friends. This is going to help bring back that footing for you, right? Stability. You may have to take a practical approach with this situation. There's something about like re-establishing a new foundation, a new footing for this pile. Alright, so moving on, we have Royal Heart, Mending in reverse, and then we have By the Book. Okay, so again, more emphasis on I just dropped some cards. Accepting help from others outside of you. Your community, if you're looking for community, they will come, you will find them, okay? I do think that helpful people will come in. I think that if you choose to stay in this situation, you're working against yourself, and you will not have that forward progressive movement that you are looking forward towards. The Mending in reverse, and technically this deck doesn't have reversals, but so what I'm getting more so is usually reversals are more internal. So the way I'm seeing this is more like you need to mend past hurts. Bring certain narratives or replay, if you're like this is an old hurt, to like no longer like replay those narratives anymore. Allow that chapter to come to an end. There's how do I say this? The longer you continue to allow things that hurt you, whether that is situations, people, you're hurting your own self. So you need to, like, there's like a strong need for you guys to defend yourself and be your own advocate. And because unfortunately there's not going to be always someone there to defend you or stand up for you, and in this case you need to choose you first. You need to put yourself first, and you need to be loud about it and aggressive with it. You need to put yourself first. You need to take back your power from this person or a past hurt or a past, there's something that is holding you back, and you need to let it go. So maybe like a certain narrative brought you comfort in some way, but like now it's not helping you. It's holding you back. Now, with the loyal heart card, this does talk about that there will be people in life that come and show their loyalty to you, their commitment. But it's also telling you that Spirit is committed to you. Spirit is always loyal to you, and to know that you're not alone. It's a very nice card to receive. So especially when you're feeling down, just know that you are being supported. I feel like you have like a direct channel right now. You're open. Your 7th chakra is open, and you're receiving direct messages from Spirit, whether you're aware of it or not. Pile 2. All right, so back on the deck we do have card 17. Again, another number 8, the Fates. Like 8 has been so prominent for this pile, guys. There is something about change. You have to make the change, because it's not going to happen for you. You have to choose, and by you choosing to change how you're going about your situation, choosing yourself in this situation, you're taking back your power. There's just like, I feel like you may have dealt with a lot of like power imbalances with other people, or this could have been like a repetitive theme for you in your life too, as, to be honest. Pile number 2. All right, so moving along, we have Heart's Desire. Sing along to your heart's song, for it knows what you truly want. I feel like that's a really weird image to put there, but okay. Alright, so you know what? Also, with the mouth open, speaking your truth, maybe you're the type of person that's always hid things out of shame. As an example, don't have to be, but like there may be something about being vocal and opening up to the truth. Maybe that's you being open up with someone that you can trust about your situation, and then that's where this helpful hand comes in. Okay. All right, so we have Grove of Unity. Bind energies in the unified sanctuary of the grove, fostering interconnected harmony among all beings. And then we have Steady Progress. Move with deliberate care as patience and attentiveness guide you to thoughtful achievements. And that kind of makes sense with that King of Pentacles energy and then the 8 of Wands energy. In order to have that forward progress movement that you're looking forward or wanting to have, the change that you want, you have to make practical decisions, like a practical, you have to approach your situation from a practical mindset, and that would also mean accepting your reality for what it is. And then taking on that energy of the Page of Swords moving forward in an aggressive manner, like I'm gonna do this now, and I'm going to do it whether someone tries to whether someone like tries to literally stop you. You do what you got to do. Okay, if that's you happen to swing that sword, then you do what you got to do. Pile number 2. All right, so final advice for you, pile number 2, before we get to your yes or no question, is we have Cardinal Adventure. You need to live up to your fullest potential, explore new directions, and take risks in order to grow as an individual. Change may be uncomfortable, but is necessary. Dang, that's crazy. The advice to your overall advice to your situation, pile number 2, is basically you need to change the way you approach a situation. So whatever you've been doing, you need to change. Whatever you're doing is not going to be working for you. No more. It's done. You need to walk away. And if you're scared about moving forward or changing direction, just know that there will be support for you on the other side when you decide to make that change. Okay? Butterfly metamorphosis. Pay attention to the areas in your life or personality that are in need of profound change or transformation. You are about to enter a phase of expansion and growth, which will be highly beneficial for your future. See? Like I said, for some of you guys, it's the actual physical environment and needing to be safe, right? And then for some of you, it is like an internal thing. You need to recognize that maybe you're holding on to maybe you identify yourself as this person that went through this, but you're more than just that situation, and you're holding yourself back, kind of, so to speak, if that makes sense. I hope I'm making sense with that. Oh, I forgot to show you. Your back of the deck energy is new heights. Let your connection with spirit ground you as you reach for the sky. How lovely is that? Oh, I love that for you guys. All right, so final advice card, back of the deck, we have Bear with Strength. Didn't I say that with the Sun card that this was going to require some type of strength, but also you were going to have a successful outcome. So just keep that in mind, pile 2. No matter how troublesome your circumstance may be, just know that there is a successful outcome once you make this change, okay? Even though it may be uncomfortable, okay? All right, so the bear symbolizes a strong source of support in times of difficulty and adversity. It may be time for you to stand for your beliefs or your truth. With strength and confidence, you are now free to roam at will and follow your path. Oh my God, I love this for you guys, pile 2. This is so cool. Like I said, this image is so weird to me. But with him, with his mouth open, with this dude's mouth open, it's giving you need to speak your truth. You need to speak up. You need to say something. You've probably been holding or biting your tongue for years. Pile 2, you need to just let it go. Let it out. Call a dude. Call a mofo out if they need to be put in their place. You know what I'm saying? If that's what, you need to call back your power. Remember, obviously things happen for a reason. And what is this teaching you overall? What is the situation teaching you? I feel like that this is teaching you how to, take back your power. You're learning how to take back your power, honestly, pile number 2. And you're learning to rewrite the narrative that you identify with. All right, so think about your yes or no question. I'll give you guys a moment. All right, hopefully you guys have thought about it throughout the reading. All right, Spirit, what is the answer to pile 2's yes or no question that's on their mind? Okay, then that was fast. All right. Interesting. All right. Let me see if I can hold this without this falling on my hand like it did for pile 1. Focus. Okay. The answer is yes. Is that focusing for you guys? I don't know or not. Alright. A tailwind of change brings you intriguing news. This is a great chance to take advantage of your position. You conclude the work you have started and radically strengthen your position. You are ablaze with inner strength and magnetic energy. Nothing can stop you. You see that? You see that pile too? Alright, so when and how? Alright. Now, take this with a grain of salt. This may not like fit everybody's narrative because it is a general reading. I don't know if this is going to focus or not. I would like it to. Hello. Well, I'm going to read it for you anyway. It will take 8 to 9 months, but a meeting with an influential person significantly changes your attitude toward the situation. Changes enter your life, but they do so smoothly. They fill you with clarity and simplicity. There will be a dynamic and pleasant developments bringing you immense joy. Alright. File number 2, I'm going to leave you there with that. Wishing you the best of luck and love on your journey moving forward. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, hello. If you guys chose the 5 of Pentacles, kitty cat, this is going to be your reading. So let me go ahead and move that over here. So I went ahead and pre-shuffled your guys' cards. I do want to mention before I start pulling those out, I want you guys to think about a yes or no question for the end of the reading. I will be pulling a yes or no oracle card for your question. All right, so you have time to sit and think about that while we get into your reading. Okay, so for you, pile number 3, we have the Magician, followed by the Hierophant, followed by the 6 of Wands, and the 5 of Cups. Alright, back of the deck energy, we have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay? Alright, so with 2 major arcana taking up half of the reading, I do want to say that this is a time that is very important or like overturning point for you in your journey. Alright, so something big is happening or need to happen or is going to happen. There's how do I want to say, alright, so I would say that I don't know, there's like a big turning point coming your way, or like that's about to happen for you guys. Pile number 3. I do think that there is some type of like insecurity happening with this group. Whether that is because you're not, I feel like that there's like a I'm not where I should be type of belief. A narrative that's playing out for you guys. There is disappointment of like wanting to be somewhere other than here. Like that's kind of the vibe that, like that's what I'm hearing. Like you feel like you're not where you should be in life, or whatever the situation is. You feel like you should be more successful or more I don't know, because I feel like this is going to apply very differently for all of you, but there is a lack of to say, like, security within yourself. This group could be afraid to take risks. With the Five of Cups, there's also, I mean, with the Ten of Pentacles, there's, you know, Ten of Pentacles is problems, feeling like you failed, instability, all right? I mean, we do have the Five of Pentacles, which is, you know, a lack of security. It is hardship. It could even be a loss of money. So, a lack of resources. But, like, you could be feeling like you don't have the skills to get out of the situation. But the Magician here is telling you that you do have everything that you need in order to overcome this setback or the situation that you're asking advice on, right? So the Hierophant is about your belief system. The Magician is also talking about adapting, right? So there may be a need to change, or there is a need to change your, your situation or your circumstances are in conflict with your belief system and how you view yourself. There's this, like, I want to say, I don't want to make it sound super, okay, so, I'm sorry, I had to pause. I had to pause. Alright, pile number 3. I feel like that there's just, like, this heavy disappointment of circumstances or situations that are happening outside of you that you really can't control. And honestly, the only thing you can't control is how you adapt to your situation. And there may be a lack of belief that you can handle such or overcome this setback. I mean, for some of it, this could be financial loss. Dang, that's crazy. Alright, so yeah, like I said, there could be, like, actual setbacks. I don't know, when I say that's crazy, I'm thinking of, like, the Hierophant and, like, what came to my mind was government with the Hierophant, but it can also be, like, seeking higher knowledge, okay? So there may be some gathering information from guidance or a counsel that can help you handle the situation or give you insight that can help you do that. So let's get some more clues with the Oracle. At least I need that for me to understand, but there may be whether this is like a belief system, that like a lack belief system, or like insecurity, you needing to challenge that belief system, okay, to overcome this grievance that you're dealing with, this, you know, depression or like disappointment, like, but this is like heavy disappointment, right? Or this could be something where you may need to seek guidance or help from a counsel, a therapist, and this is going to successfully help you deal with your grievances. Alright, so we have rest and rejuvenation, appreciation, patience, yin and yang. Oh yeah, you guys did get that extra card. I almost forgot. You guys got an extra card. Just give me a second. I just kind of slide these over so they all fit on. Okay, so you guys also got the Magician and the Mirror, which I thought was kind of cool when I first saw it, because these two flipped out together. I didn't see these cards, but I saw these two. And when I saw these two, I thought it was kind of interesting that it came out the way it did, because this card talks about yin and yang, and then you got the yin and yang card. Like, come on. I don't know. It's funny. And like how that kind of like played out. Basically, you got the Magician twice. All right. This is kind of like the Magician over again. This is the Magician card. And then you have the Magician right here. So there is a need to, like you have what it takes to overcome this situation. This talks about balancing the yin and the yang. And this card, with it being upright, is yin energy. So you are right now being put in a circumstance that is outside of your control. And what it is telling you to do is to take time to reflect on this situation, which is also kind of mirrors that rest and rejuvenation. Like, there's really nothing that you can do at this point. And you need to sit and reflect on the situation and be patient with yourself and find ways to, because like your thoughts affect your circumstances, right? So like if you're feeding that negative energy, like that negative narrative, you create and draw more of that negative energy into your life, creating more, like a constant loop, right? And then if you were to do the opposite, appreciation, having gratitude for what you do have is going to help you out of that. So I know that finding gratitude sometimes, especially when you're in the Five of Cups energy, can be quite difficult. But it could be just as basic as like being appreciative of good health, or having the health, you know, having health in general. It's as simple as waking up today is something to be appreciative for. A chance to it's hard for me to say something, because I feel like with that one thing, good thing, there's 10 negative things that come follow through that kind of poop on that one nice thing to say. And it's like, I feel like as soon as I go to say something positive, there's already like, I could already hear somebody listing 10 reasons for why it's, you know, there's like, that's not enough, you know? I don't know, that's hard to explain. I hope I'm making sense though. Like, it's hard to sound like I want to say it, but then like I can hear. Oh, it's frustrating. All right, but there's a need to, you're in a receptive time. There's circumstances outside of you right now as we speak. What's the back of the deck energy? We do have number 21 with strategy. So there is a time, right now is the time to sit and think about what it is, what's your goal? What do you need to accomplish that goal? And break that down into smaller, be strategic, be strategized, start taking action, not start taking action, but like start strategizing an action plan. And then, because right now you're in a receptive mode. So you could be getting messages and guidance from Spirit, okay, to help you. They're trying to help guide you in the direction that you need to. This rest and rejuvenation could also talk about like you actually need physical rest, but this is about meditation. Now is the time to pause and think about things through. Okay, so being strategic with that Magician card, what skills and what will be needed in order to take steps forward to accomplishing. So like if you got a long-term goal, breaking that down into smaller chunks and creating a plan. So right now you're like, now is not the time for action. It is a time for thinking and solving, but you're not meant to exert energy at this time. You may feel like you need to, but that is not the case. You need to be patient. Like you might be feeling desperate for this circumstance to change, but fighting against it is not going to help you. If you keep trying to focus on one opinion or one way of handling the situation, you're closing yourself off to other opportunities that can help you out of the situation. Think of like that Five of Cups. Like, no, it has to be these cups. It has to be this way. But there's two other different opportunities right here for you. But you're being like either you're being narrow-minded or you're stubborn, or you're not saying you are stubborn, but like you're stubbornly only focused on this. And because you're so focused on that you cannot see the other cups. You're not being appreciative of those other cups that are right there for you. You don't take in consideration that, okay, so maybe it may not go in the way, like, let's say these other cups, right? They would okay, how do I want to say this? Oh, jeez. This is like one way of you doing things. And that way of doing things, they ain't going to get you where you want to get to. But these other cups, they have different ways of handling the situation, but you're not used to doing things in that way, or you want things to go in this way, and you're kind of like not being appreciative that you have this opportunity right here for you. It may not be exactly what you want or what you think you want, but you don't know that that's actually going to help you out of this situation. Sheesh. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say. Sorry. All right. I felt like that was a lot. All right. Oh, this is so funny. This is funny. It's funny to me because I had to take a deep breath after that, and then the card that you guys got is Breathe. Oh, man. That's hilarious. I love Spirit. They're so funny. All right. It's funny. Come on, guys. You gotta admit it's funny. All right, so we have the Fates, and then we have To Be Fair. All right, and then let me get back of the deck energy. Back of the deck energy is co-create. All right, so Spirit's trying to work with you. Spirit wants to bring in other people to help you with this circumstance and this situation. Spirit wants you to work with them. So you got to get out of your own way. You need to sit down and allow Spirit to do what it needs to do. The Fates talks about, which is what I mentioned earlier, is that there is circumstances outside of you that are happening. You can't do nothing about it. It's kind of funny because that's why I had to pause your reading for a moment, because earlier there were things that were happening. They weren't bad, but they were kind of like irritating me to an extent. Like it's like as I'm recording, for example, my kids are coming home, the home is getting a little louder than I would like it to be. And yeah, to a degree I can control that, but at the same time, like, they're just talking. They're not being rude and disruptive, but yet for some reason it's irritating me. It's kind of like the same energy that you're in. That was just an example of that I could give that kind of resonates with this whole situation. There are things that are happening outside of you that you can't do nothing about, and so you just need to relax. You need to breathe. You need to figure out, okay, well, if this is what the situation is, how can I fix this, or how can I go about strategizing this? Okay, maybe that's seeking advice from an advisor, or challenging a belief system. You're gonna teeter-totter between. There's gonna be a group that's one, and the other group's gonna be the other. But yeah, it's kind of funny. what I'm implying that was funny was the breathing card. I'm still like kind of stuck on that. This breathing card on top, right on top of this, rest and rejuvenation, they're basically saying the same thing. Look at, they're both meditating road. Come on, the message is repeating itself right there. It's like you need to pause. You need to be patient. Again, didn't you have patience right here? Yeah, so there's a need to pause and be patient with your situation or your circumstance. Taking things slowly. Maybe even doing a wellness check and checking in with yourself. Sometimes we get so lost in despair or disappointment that we stop taking care of ourselves, or we stop taking care of our environment, or others that depend on us. As an example of that. Okay, so make sure you're taking care of yourself, pile number 3. All right, so, oh yes, to be fair, this card does talk about like everything balanced, like how do I explain? There is a cause and effect, things balancing themselves out. So there are times when life offers you challenges, and then there's times where life gives you, like when you think of like harvesting, there's times where like you have a lot of abundance, and then sometimes you don't have that. So you have to learn how to create abundance when there's lack, or learning to be resourceful and make what you got last, right? Being creative and figuring out how to make it work, kind of, so to speak. You're in a position right now where things are going the way that they are, and you need to pause and reflect on what is this showing you, what is this teaching you, what is this, have you tuned into yourself? Have you been listening to your body? Do you even acknowledge your body? What is it signaling to you? Okay, so every experience has a reason for why it's here. And you are at, like, is that even a word? The precipice? I don't even know if I'm making up words. But you're at the, like, brink of making a change, but you can't force it. You need to, right now is a time to not act. It is a time to reflect. Maybe even like actually get some rest, because things are about to shift for you. Okay? There is sometimes like we ignore that we need the rest, and you don't even realize it, that like action might pick up. And then if you don't get that rest, you're going to regret not getting that rest, okay? This is a time for pause, okay? Whether you like the situation or not, which more likely you guys are not, ride the wave is what I'm hearing. Be resourceful. Seek guidance and advice if need be. That would be beneficial to you. Okay. Also, I do feel like when you're in a meditative state, you're going to receive some communication and guidance from spirit on what to do next. Okay. All right. So we have commit to the journey. With determination, go all in for the long term. Your steadfast focus will bring lasting rewards. That kind of reminds me of that strategy card that we had as back of the deck energy. The long-term goal. But the strategy card is talking about when you have these long-term goals, right now is the time to focus on creating that strategy. All right? Not just going all in willy-nilly, but sitting here and taking the time to sit down and pause. How can I make this happen? What steps do I need to take? and breaking it down into smaller chunks in order to make it more achievable. All right. And then we have on the mend, be compassionate and kind to yourself as you heal your heart. All right. Yeah, that's another thing. You know, you probably are feeling, like I said in the beginning of the reading, like I feel like somebody here is very disappointed. They feel disappointed in themselves. Like they feel like they're a failure, that they didn't do nothing, that they should be somewhere further along their path, or you know, like you're just being too hard on yourself, pile number 3. And you need to be more kind. You need to pause. What can you know, what's going to help you shift out of that mindset or that belief is appreciation. Finding things to, making a gratitude list. Things like that are going to help you. Okay? All right. Honor your worth. Oh. Just as I was saying, recognize your value and stand proudly in your truth, knowing that self-love is the foundation for all other relationships. Okay? Guys, that's crazy. I only had saw these 2 cards, so to see that come out too is super cool. Alright, so final advice for you. Oh wait, back of the deck. Sorry. I get all excited about going to the next set of cards. Alright, we have Harbor of Peace. Find serene refuge in the peaceful embrace of a gentle harbor, allowing tranquility to still your waters. You guys keep getting repetitive messages. It's so cool. I'm sorry. You're probably like, I don't know. Some people get annoyed and they're like, you keep repeating yourself. I don't know. I'm assuming. But I don't know. I really like the double confirmations because it's like kind of funny. It's like you're using all these different cards in different decks, and they all, you know, they all basically say similar message, just worded very differently. But pause, take a time to breathe, relax. And I know that you're probably like, that's probably very difficult to do because, especially like, let's say if this has to do with finances and stuff, or, you know, the loss of money, like, you know, you could be worried about how you're going to pay your bills. Like, I get that. So, like, I can get this, like, I can't energy. But, like, there is an answer when you pause and take care of yourself. Okay? So, final advice, pile number 3. We have Rabbit with Cleverness. If you have been going through difficult times, it is time to think outside the box to find a solution. This is also a reminder to avoid neglecting your creative side. If you have let creative projects last, it may be time to pick them up again. This also kind of tells me like to get creative when it comes to handling your situation, or your situation will require a creative perspective, or like a different way of doing or handling the situation. And you're not gonna be able to do that unless you tap into your creativity, and that's, you know, taking a break, pausing, getting into a meditative state. It doesn't mean you have to sit there and meditate to get into a meditative state. Maybe you like to draw, and drawing gets you into a meditative state. That's an example. Maybe you like painting. Anything, exercising could get you into a meditative state. Yoga, like everybody's different, you know what I'm saying? But like there's a need to get into that flow to allow that guidance to come in. All right. Whew. We have Snake, transformation. I don't know if that cleared, like, is that, okay. You will be shedding old skin and emotions and transforming them into something bigger and better. Change is in the wind, and you are at the center of it all as the catalyst. To smoothen the process, make sure that your intentions are clear and that you move forward with hope. That kind of circles me back to that strategy card. I don't know why, but it does. It just move with clear intentions. Don't just, I'm going to do this and just do it and then like wonder why it falls short. If you're not having a strategy And it's just not gonna feel like you're gonna feel like you're not accomplishing anything. But if you sit there and break it into chunks and you see the growth over time, you build up that sense of self-worth and confidence, and then you continue to move forward, you continue that path, and then you start to see more growth and you start to feel more confident in yourself. Back of the deck, we have Hummingbird with lightness. It is time for you to pursue your dreams with determination. By doing this, you will make them a reality. Joy is just around the corner, but you have to believe that it is possible to manifest your visions. Stop waiting and doubting. Yeah, like I said, like some of you guys, this is someone that you guys, who, whatever your situation is, I feel like there's like a split group or like a blend of the two, so to speak. But some of you are just doubting yourself, and there's insecurity. You feel like a failure, kind of vibe. And then the others of you, there is a creative way to solving your issue. You just need to pause and breathe. I mean, when you think about like when a snake is transforming, when it's shedding its skin, the snake can't see very well. It's not seeing things clearly. It needs to rest. Snakes don't even, you're not even like, I don't know about snakes in the wild, but I do know that if you have a pet snake and it's shedding its skin, that is not a time to feed your snake. It is a time to leave it and let it do its thing, and once it's done with its shedding process, then you can feed it. I mean, yeah, it will still be able to eat. It's best for you to feed your snake before. I'm not a snake professional, but like I do know other people that have had snakes, and if you feed a snake while they are in the process of shedding, it is difficult for them to yeah, they're still able to, like, let's say you're feeding in a mouse. Yes, they can still catch the mouse and eat it, but the process is a little bit more difficult. Okay, so like not only is the snake having to work twice as hard to get that mouse, the mouse is also suffering more than it needs to. All right, but during the process of the snake shedding, you can't see things. It can't see clearly, which is right now what you can't do right now. So that's because you're letting go of an old way of handling a situation and or seeing yourself, or a combination of both. Sheesh. All right. Now, getting into that yes or no question that you guys have in the back of your head. Start focusing on it so I can pull out an answer for you guys. Pile number 3. What is their answer to their yes or no question, Spirit? What is the answer to their yes or no? Alright. Alright. The answer to your question is no. This sticky situation will require gradual transformations and radical views. Perfection is always ever changing. Incidents that refract consciousness and perception gently guide you toward a grandiose future. Grandiose. Why am I? Why is this so weird? Why am I saying it like that? I don't know. Okay. How and when? The bird of fortune soars, trailing news by the tail. It's a surprise. And one of your greatest surprises will always be finding out you could do what you thought you never could. In only 1 to 2 weeks, it gives rise to universal recognition, a rare prize for such exquisite ingenuity. Guys, dude, I feel like that hit your reading so spot on. It may not be the answer that you want, but that's because the Spirit has something planned for you. And if you would just sit and pause, let Spirit do what it needs to do, things are going to come and happen Oh my god, that's so cool. Alright. I know that may not be the answer you wanted to hear, but I mean, I don't know. The how and when sounds a lot more nicer than the no, in all honesty. I mean, you could either have the situation solved in one way and then not like it, or you can like be patient and wait and have a better outcome. I mean, I'd rather have the better outcome. Sorry, totally bumped into you. Alright, so I'm going to leave you guys with that. Pile number 3. Wishing you the best of luck and love on your journey moving forward. Take care till next time. Bye.